Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody in class. Hopefully, the beginning of your Saturday is going well. We're going to go ahead and get into tonight's class. These hours, hour and 45 minutes, be going quick. Starting out, does anybody got any questions or anything y'all want to talk about before we go into tonight's class? Live?
Live.
All right. And the new sister, have you been here, sis? Okay, do you have any questions? Or anything that you wanted to touch on before we go into tonight's? Something in mind? Say it again? About the Sabbath day? We can touch on that real quick. Let's go there. Let's go to the Leviticus. Anything specific about the Sabbath? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to take the whole class to do this, because you've been coming, right? Are you going to be coming back? Because we could do a whole class on that. It's better that way. I hate just few scriptures and then speaking through my, you know what I mean? I'd rather do a whole class on the topic, and it just be a refresh for you, for the new brother Peter, and for the brother online that be watching us. He's new. So yeah, we'll go over that on the Shabbat. All right. That way, it's just not me going over just Leviticus. There's more details in that when you go over the Shabbat. All right, it is a serious topic. All right. You got a quick one?
Yeah, I got a question.
What you got?
Zechariah 4 and 10.
Zechariah 4 and 10.
Yeah, on basically, are the eyes of the Lord, are those the angels?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
That goes with Ecclesiasticus. It's another one in Ecclesiasticus. Y'all know that one where it says, the eyes of the Most High are in the earth. Or is it? I'm paraphrasing it wrong in my head, but there's another one in Ecclesiasticus. But yes, the eyes of the Most High are the angels, and the angels do what? The scriptures say they record, right? We've been over that the angel class. They record, they protect, they punish, right? According to Psalms 91, we hope the angels that cover us are the ones that protect us, right? So yeah, that is the angels. But there's a precept that go with that. We can find it. Anything else? Any other quick one? If nothing quick, I want to go to this topic. This is actually the brother Peter's question about the Apostle Peter. So we're going to touch on that. This is the brother Peter's question about the Apostle Peter. And I thought this was going to be a good one. He asked this a while back, and we just didn't get a chance to touch on it. The Apostle Peter in his plight. And we'll look for that one. We'll find that. Well, I'll find that one for you, all right? That scripture. But that was it on that, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, so tonight's class is about the Apostle Peter. And like the brother wanted it just to know about these different apostles and their character and kind of get an idea about them, right? So we did that, yeah.
Sorry. Was this get in the question period?
Yeah, we're still there. I haven't went in.
Okay. Matthew chapter 15, verse 5.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's jump there. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 5. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift.
Right. Okay, so what the Pharisees were doing were basically supplying a gift in place of the commandment. So they would give them something to sort of like buy their way out of this law that I have to do what? Honor my father and my mother, right? I have to be there for them, right? They literally undid the commandment by a gift. Go ahead.
By whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me.
Right, so whatever, according to the commandment that I'm supposed to do for my mom and my dad, well, I'm going to give you something. It's crooked as hell, ain't it? It don't even sound right. But I'm going to give you this gift and buy my way out of it.
Sounds like a loophole.
Basically, like, almost like Esau, right? Like in their loopholes, right? Well, that ain't the law. That wasn't the law saying that. They came up with, right, to get out of that. And I think when we went over to Matthew 23 and it started pointing out about the Pharisees, I don't know if you were in that class the other day, but about the Pharisees, their hypocrisy. This was part of their hypocrisy, that they were doing what? Creating their own loopholes. For instance, we know we don't supposed to kill nobody, but they literally delivered Yahushua to death. So in their head, that's a what? That's somehow a loophole, because they were carnal-minded. So not knowing you delivering your brother to death, right, or being false accusers is in the law as well. That's how it's like how you know the law, but you don't know the law. The scripture tell you about being a false accuser. And that's what they did to Yahushua, delivering him to death. So there was a double fold breaking of the law there. So according to their mind and their mind of hypocrisy, this was the way to get out of this commandment. Go ahead.
And honor not his father or his mother.
Right.
He shall be free. Thus have ye
You're
made.
right. So he shall be free. So I mean, it's telling us there what their thought process was that they were going to be free from the law, and they wouldn't have to honor father and mother because they would give this gift. Go ahead.
Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
See, by your tradition. So they created, that was 15 and...
5 verses 5 and 6.
Right. Right. I was going to look in here as well, because it goes into it, like if you get a good, in the Greek it says a gift, right? Did you look it up in the Greek?
No.
Yeah, in the Greek it says a gift. The reason why, I don't know why I went over this, I don't know if I was talking about it with a brother the other day or whatever. I went into it and I just remembered the Greek had said, a gift, or it says profited, meaning helps. Like,
Yeah.
right, instead of me doing my job, this gift is going to be in place of that help that you're supposed to be getting.
Right. So it wasn't given to the parent. It was given to the Scott Pharisees.
That's a good question. Who was the gift given to?
Yeah, so thinking, when I read it, I got the same thing you got.
Yeah.
I didn't go into the Greek, but what I understood was they weren't taking care of their parents. They weren't honoring their mother and father.
Look, check this out right here. This touches it right here in the Strong's. A votive offering, and the offering, a consecrated present to the temple fund. So it would be that's double crazy. Because you're already a priest. The gift you give to the priest, which is yourself. That's crazy as hell. Yeah, it says a consecrated present to the temple fund, by extension the letter, basically to the treasury. Yeah.
So that's what what it meant when it said,
And it says korban, meaning treasury.
yeah, that's
Treasury.
the word I had saw when I looked it up.
Yeah, korban meaning treasury.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Mark, it says korban. Right, and it says here too, a gift offered, or to be offered to, oh, there you go, to the Most High. The sacred treasury. So it would be offered to the treasury. So you giving it to the priest fund, being the priest, and now which comes to you, and then you don't have to do nothing for your parents. That's insanity.
I think it was because I went and read the NIV version, and it said that basically the children were doing it spitefully. You know, they were doing that spitefully, not taking care of their mother and father, not honoring their mother and father. So they would give to the Corban and to get out of giving to their parents or providing for their parents.
It's like kids can do now. They can emancipate themselves.
Right.
Right. If you want to go deeper, and I don't want to take this too long. I'm trying to go to this class, but it's the same spirit of you have kids and they don't see the honor in doing for their parents.
Right.
Right? It's almost like you get wicked kids that, you know, you ask them to take the trash out, you ask them to do the chores in the house, and it's almost like that's a burden. You're bothering me, you're burdening me. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, good question. I'm glad we went into it in the Greek and in the Strong's. Anything else on that, Ron? All right. Anybody got any other questions before we jump into this? Yes, sir.
Is the precept you were talking about 2nd Ezra 16?
What did it say?
Second.
I thought it was in Ecclesiastes, like 39 or something.
Yeah.
Well, which one you got though?
I got 2nd Ezra 16, verse 62.
Go ahead, read it.
Yeah, verse 62. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 62. Yeah, and the Spirit of Almighty God, which made all things, and searcheth out all hidden things, in the secrets of the earth. And then you can read all the way down.
No, this was another one that tells you it's more showing you that the angels are the eyes of the Most High. Yo, man, I'm surprised you don't.
I'm surprised you don't know where that one is.
Huh?
Yeah, verse 66.
Right. Yeah, that goes with it. I was thinking of this one in Ecclesiastes, but that's right on point. Yeah, I was thinking of another one. I forgot how it's worded though. But yeah, let me find it. I'm trying to jump into this topic before we start losing more time. Because I think it's a good topic. The Apostle Peter, his plight, and how he came about. Let's go to Matthew 4, verse 18. Yeah. Got my head working on that. Read that.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 18.
Right. And I think your question in this topic was kind of like a general, right? There wasn't nothing specific. It was just kind of like this character, what was going on with him. Well, Peter, first of all, was known as the chief apostle, the head apostle, right? Now, when you see the Most High calling the 12, you got to ask yourself as we go over it, like, why did Peter stand out, right? What was it about Peter? You know what I mean? It's like we came to the city, and you meet 12 brothers, but that one brother stands out of all of them, right? He literally almost met them all at the same time. Read that.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 18.
And
Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother.
Right, so now when you hear in the New Testament more about Andrew, right, you can understand, you remember who he is. They were brothers. You got that? This happens a lot. This happens a lot. Like, how many cats that you came up with from Rochester? You came in with, right? Like brothers. Then you got family members. You got your sisters. You got one sister in the truth. The other one straddling the line. But you brought the truth to your family. So it's the same way with really a lot of us that you affect part of your family. That's why it's important that you don't just, y'all gotta turn that down. Y'all gotta turn that down, whatever that is. And that's why it's very important that you don't, like I like to say, kick in the door and start burning the bridges straight on with your family. Right? Remember, force not the course of the river. Everything's gonna take its natural course. If your family, if your family is going to fall in the Matthew's 10 line, a man's foe should be there of his own household, right? And you're going to have enemies of your own household. The spirit naturally is going to be there. What happened?
It said it was unable to connect. I just pressed the reconnect button.
Okay, so it's good?
Counselor.
Okay, but go ahead. Y'all understand that, right? How many brothers and sisters had made bad choices coming in to where you didn't let your good example affect your family? It was more a bad example. Your zeal like literally destroyed the whole outlook of the truth. Because all you did was what? Start requiring from them things that you haven't even got down. Right? So you can see a lot of our family members will come in and get the knowledge and get the truth if you just be the light of the world. If you just be the example. So Peter and Andrew were brothers. Go ahead.
Casting a net into the sea. For they were fishers.
Right. They were fishers. They were fishers, right? A thing I didn't put in here, because that's really not going into the topic all that deep, is that they didn't stop fishing. The priorities changed though. Their life at this point were what? Fishermen, right? And they were going to still need a fish to eat, but that wasn't their main goal. That wasn't their main priority. Right? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
So, what did they do? Read.
And they straightway left their nets.
Right. See, so when you look at, this is where, well, when you read these stories, if you read them slow and you start getting the substance from it, you start seeing, damn, man, like the life we live is like the scriptures. But what it is we start downplaying the gospel and make it seem like, well, they didn't really just follow him, did they? They just really stopped what they were doing and followed him? Yeah. Yeah, how many of y'all seen a good karate movie where the student wants to be under the master? Right? Master, teach me. He's walking like, nah, get away from me. I'm good. But Yahushua called them. They were busy. They were doing their stuff, their life, right? Like the parables says, right? That go to the highways and byways and bid the people to the marriage. Right? Go to the idol and bid them to their marriage. So you're literally seeing the application of this and this man, or in this case, Peter and Andrew, right? Being called. It is no different than us. So why is it like, oh well, that y'all treat the truth? That's too much. Because you can't serve two masters. This is the fact. Your priorities can't be set on the Most High and what you were doing in your life. But we're gonna touch on that a little bit as we go on. Read on.
And they straightway left their nets.
Right.
And followed him.
They straightway left their nets and followed him. So as we're talking about the brother Peter, the chief, the head apostle, you see that everything, and I'm going to say this a few times during this class, everything that Peter was speaking, he did. Everything he was saying that everybody else committed to, he did it. Not only Peter, but that's the subject tonight, but all the men of the Bible. They actually did it and walked the walk. And this is why Peter was Peter, right? And there's a lot more substance in that, right? Go to Matthew 16 and 13. Matthew 16, 13.
Come.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. And when Yahushua came into the coast of
Caesarea
Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?
Right?
And
So, you got the case. I couldn't put 50 precepts for the point we already know that. Yahushua called the apostles. One of the main apostles was Peter, right? And what are they doing with what Yahushua? They're walking with Yahushua. That's what the scripture says, to wear out the doorstep of the wise. You hear me say it a million times. Yahushua is not meeting once a week with them. These cats are literally at the doorstep. They are in the bosom of Christ. Get these questions answered. Trying to understand everything. I mean, think about it. How many of y'all, if Yahushua showed up, got a lot of questions? What, you gonna spend an hour with him? Yahushua, can I get a few minutes?
Quitting my job.
Bruh, you want to do this. You want to be like John, like. So I got a question, Doc. I know it's late, but you know what I mean? Hell yeah, but that's how we have to teach the truth. Because you don't know. Unless you know all things, that's how you got to treat this word. You know what I mean? You got to go back and remind yourself you don't know. Because a lot of times you do what? You act like you know every damn thing. But if you ask a question, you're like, I don't know that one. Or that one, or that one. Well, then why you ain't wearing out the doorsteps? Why you acting like everything else is important instead of the word of the Most High? So, Peter, the apostles, were walking with Yahushua. Go ahead.
And they said, Some say that thou art John the Baptist.
Right.
Some Elias.
And
others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets.
Go ahead.
He saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am?
Right.
And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ.
Right. So why Peter? Why was this guy, out of all the brothers, out of the 12 apostles, why was this guy? What was it in him, man, that the Spirit was sparking and Yahushua identified in him? Well, what was it? Right? It didn't say nobody else said it. It said he said that. Right? He identified what Yahushua was. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
The Son of the living God.
Go ahead.
And Yahushua answered and said unto him,
Right?
Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto thee.
Because there was something in the Spirit that opened up his eyes that didn't have him guessing who he was. So this is why Peter in the first beginning, Yahushua is like, wow, this guy is the guy. Watch, remember.
But my Father, which is in heaven.
Right, so the Most High revealed it, right? It was in him. He revealed this to him. Go ahead.
And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock will I build my church. Right, so rock, and then the other verse, I realize it says stone, right? So he's the rock, right? So go from there. No, finish that. Go ahead. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So what he was saying right there, y'all, was basically saying Peter was going to be the first chief
apostle. That's what he was saying with that. He was saying, upon this church I will build, upon this rock I will build my church. So think about how much weight that was going to be on this man that you just met, right? Remember, Yahushua was only around how many years?
3.
3 years. From what age to what? So this wasn't a long time. So Peter didn't have time to, I'm gonna play around and then I'm gonna lock in after 3 years. Right? There was something that had at that moment had to be seen in him for Yahushua to reveal to him. And for all these apostles to get all these secrets and wisdom and understanding. Because Yahushua wasn't playing. I mean, we can go over that in another topic, but Yahushua wasn't wasting his time. He wasn't sitting around just pouring his spirit into things that wasn't going to flourish and grow. And I know you say, well, what about Judas? That was a purpose. It was a plan for that. That had to go that way. But Yahushua wasn't wasting his time. Go from there, go to St. John 1:42. So just getting in the rhythm of this, Peter being the chief apostle, being the one man that shined more and was different than the other 12 apostles. You're meeting this man, you're seeing something in him, and you're like, man, I'm going to build my church on your back. What type of burden is that going to be? And that's what a lot of Israel don't understand. That everybody is not going to take on that burden. You know what I mean? Men are going to do other things. Right? And I don't mean that they can't be great. The point is that other men, some men, don't want us to take and fall into that league. You're asking me why. You got to ask those men, those women. Why don't the fire and passion burn with the same vigor from one man to the next? Why? Why is that? Anybody know? What? He smiled. Good.
I believe it all comes down to choices and decisions.
Okay, good one. I'm not saying I got the right answer. I can go to the scriptures and we can talk about that, but you're right. You said what?
Life choices and decisions.
Life choices and decisions. That's a bad way to look at it. But you're right. It's a bad way to play, to gamble with the spirit of the Most High. Right? But what you was going to say?
They don't think they're good enough.
Okay, self-pity. You got those that they want to play the self-pity role. Yeah, that's garbage to me too. Anyway, so that you don't get a pass because you're over here wanting to slit your own wrist. You know what I mean? Because Yahushua said he gave you the pass. Yahushua said he forgave you. Yahushua said you were filthy when he got you. Yahushua said, as a matter of fact, I only want the filthy. I only want the base. Right? So when you still come in with that, well, I'm just more wicked than everybody. Like, that's another weak excuse. Right? So in my head, both of those things, what y'all saying is totally right. But is it right? Is it right to let yourself be motivated by these ideas? Right. And I know you're not saying it too. I'm just saying that, but you guys are nailing it because these are the things that hold people back from being Peter, from being a Paul, right? What else? Yeah. Being lukewarm, double-minded, straight out, still in their head, I got plan B. This Bible, Hebrews like thing is not so serious. He understood that what he was going to take on upon him the church was going to be built? That's big time. That's not a joke. That's not to be played with. But that's a good one. What else? What?
I was about to say, they don't have a willing mind.
A willing mind, straight out, no willingness. I mean, then what you doing here? Like, but, yeah.
Con, I'm gonna say love, like what you love, what you care about.
Where your treasure is, where your heart be also. The lack of love,
Con.
or the love of something more carnal than the will of the Father, true. And we know that with Judas, right? His love was more caught up into something else. He was motivated by the wrong thing, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna say like we in a race, you know, you pacing yourself, but you getting distracted, or you lacking resistance. You don't know how to resist.
Yeah.
Distractions, or say it.
Stop resisting.
Yeah, you don't got.
John.
You ain't put resistance into practice. So when it comes time for temptation or those trials, you just giving in. You just folding.
There you go. So you're not armored up. You're not properly tuned up to fight against the battle. We know those things, but everything y'all are saying is right. But we got to look at that in ourselves and stop playing the game. Because there's that too. You're like, if I don't if I get shot, all I gotta do is not look at it. I ain't gonna hurt me.
Oh man,
That's how this world does. It's like, wait a minute, brother, you're that person. Like, what individual are you that is being named? And what is holding you back? Why is your passion and your fire not saying, damn, I'm a Peter. I'm like this man. I want to be like that. And that's what keeps pulling you forward. Then you won't have one leaders. You have how many? 12. You have 4. See, and that's the thing. But I know that idea of what I'm saying is not reality, because if that was the case, we would have more Peters, right? Go ahead and read that. 1 John 1:42.
John chapter 1 and verse 42.
Go ahead.
And he brought him to Yahushua.
Right.
And when Yahushua beheld him, he said, Thou art Simon, the son of Jonas.
Right.
Thou shalt be called Cephas.
Thou shalt be called Cephas. So he got it. He changed his name, because that's not a Hebrew Israelite gangbang switch name thing that we come up with. Why y'all change y'all name? Because we gangbangers. No. We changed our name because we put off the old man, we put on the new. And in this instance, his elder was reminding him what spirit he's going to take on. I had it earlier. Cephas, stone. So that was right. So this is supposed to be Aramaic, right? This is supposed to be the Aramaic version of stone, right? So you got Peter, you got Cephas, right? And they got it so here different too. That is Kappa. He's the capo. Surname. Right, and he says origin the rock, Cephas. This is another rock. So rock and stone is the same thing. And I remember myself saying, wait a minute, is it the rock or the stone? And then you realize it's translation is the same thing. Alright, so that's another name for Peter. Cephas. Okay? Read that again.
And he brought him to Yahushua.
Right.
And when Yahushua beheld him, he said, Thou art Simon, the son of Jonah.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt be called Cephas.
Right.
Which is by interpretation a stone.
Right. And upon this stone, upon this I build my church. Now, why? Why? And that's when we start getting to this man's character. We start seeing what you know what I had to look up? The tribe of Peter. He gotta be a Benjamin. No. No, but Peter why was he called a stone? What did Yahushua see in him to say, man, you're the stone, right? What was it about him, right? So go to 2 Peter 1:10 real quick. I want to go to Peter speaking because I want to remind y'all everything that Peter went through and is going through. This is where you can speak from. If you ain't going through it, if you're not ready to step in the shoes, then how are you going to take on the honor, right? The position, right? The I'm chief this or priest this. And that, unfortunately, that's what generation we're in. It's like you look at the men of the past, they literally walked in these footsteps. They didn't just anoint themselves, right? Peter had to go through what everything Yahushua laid down. And Yahushua knew, I don't know if you think, but he didn't go through it. Yahushua knew he was going to go through it. See, remember, he only had 3 years with these cats. So their learning process had to be what?
Quick.
3 years is not, it's not a long time. It's not a long time, right?
1,090 and 95 days.
Right. So he had 3 years with them, and he had to pick up and be this man that Yahushua wanted quick, right? There wasn't no on your march get set go with Peter. You're the guy, so I gotta take your learning to the next level. What did Peter say here? 2 Peter 1:10. Read that.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10.
Right?
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence.
See, give diligence, man.
To make your calling and election sure.
So why did he drop what he was doing and go with Christ? Because this is what Peter believed. This is what Peter knew. This is what the Most High required from us in the Spirit, to make your calling and election sure. So the man Peter knew this. That's why he can preach it. That's why he can teach it. Go ahead.
For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
See, if you do what thing? Why was Peter the Peter? The rock? The stone? Why? Because he knew this. Man, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to make my calling and election sure. And he said, if you do this, you shall never fail. Right? So, this is why you can't, the only thing that got to keep your fire lit is the Holy Spirit. Once you have that fake fire, right? The fake zeal, the fake hype, you're not going to step into the shoes of men like this. You're not. So what keeps your passion? What's your passion? Right? What keeps you studying? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you sewing for the sisters? What keeps you cooking? What keeps you giving? What keeps you showing up? Right? You got to ask yourself that. And you got to keep building on these things. So this is what you see in this man, Peter. And what you see in his actions is what he taught. Now he can speak on it because he was actually living it. Go to Galatians 2:9. He was actually living it. So now he can preach about it. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 2 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And when James, Cephas,
right, which is who? Peter. Not you like, who's Cephas? Now we know. You know what I mean? If you didn't, that was Peter. Right? So James, Cephas, go ahead.
And John,
right?
Who seemed to be pillars.
Right? So they were pillars. I know there's a situation here, we can talk about that later, but the point of this verse is this. Paul is recognizing that Peter, James, and John, these were elders, pillars. So at this time, Yahushua is gone. Look at how much work Peter still put in. Look at how much work he put in, and he did after Yahushua left. So it wasn't only through eye service, oh, Christ is around. For you to be called a pillar, right? An elder in the school, in the churches, you had to continue right after Christ left. See, so This man, you can see his works written. And that's what we gotta be. It ain't about, oh, my husband's around, now I'm gonna act pure now. But when he's gone, you know what? Whatever. That shows you man pleasing. Oh, my dad ain't around, my mom ain't around, so I'm gonna be a beast. Right? The brother ain't around, so, nah, these men, you can see through their example that they were there for Yahushua. And that's why he's the guy. You start to see these characteristics unfold in these individuals and be like, damn, this is what we always talk about this. This is nothing new. But we're just reading about this another earthly individual that is not Christ, that lived and exemplified the Spirit of the Most High. Now we can go back and say, damn, now I understand why he said Peter's the guy. He was going to follow through. He was going to be the leader. It said he was a pillar. Only time you read about that is when it says a woman should be a pillar of rest. So you got to think about it. These cats were holding up the schools, holding up the churches. Right? Go ahead.
Perceive the grace that was given unto me.
Okay, that goes into a whole subject of something they were dealing with during that time. Let's go from there. Go to 1 Timothy. So I just wanted to, start it out showing that what man we were dealing with. We were dealing with Peter, a man that was called by the Most High, that was and propped up because the Most High knew his spirit and what his works, what he was going to do. And what did he do? Head chief priest. What did he have to do? 1 Timothy 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 10. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying.
Right.
If a man desire the office of a bishop,
go ahead,
he desireth a good work.
And y'all know the scripture. This is tatted in your brains, in your spirit. You desire a good work, right? Go ahead.
A bishop then must be blameless.
A bishop must be what?
Be blameless.
So Peter had to step into blamelessness, right? He had to fulfill this path. He wasn't going to be given the position, and then he not go and be approved like this. So this is what made Peter the guy. Priest, go ahead.
The husband of one wife.
Go ahead.
Vigilant.
Right? Vigilant, go ahead.
Vigilant. Sober.
Right?
Of good behavior.
Right?
Given to hospitality.
Right?
Apt to teach.
And we'll go over that. We've been over that a million times, and I know for Peter, we'll go over that as well. But this is the point I wanted to prove in this chapter as you read down is verse 10. Go ahead.
Not given to wine.
No, jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And let these also first be proved.
Wait. So in order to be a bishop or a deacon, you had to be what?
Be proved.
You had to be proved. Peter had to be proved. So when we look at him, don't think, oh, you know what? He was why did Yahushua choose him? Well, he was proven. Right? There was things that were going to happen to show and prove what type of man Peter was. So and we know that's all of us. But you're talking about the guy that Yahushua, when he left, he was going to leave it to him. We know Paul came after. Paul's on a different pendulum, and he had a different job. Paul still had to, I know when you read in Galatians 3, Paul went to Peter, and they had a discussion, and there was a little issue. But Paul still had respect because he knew Peter was the guy. That's what he was saying in Galatians 2. That he was still the pillar. He still gave honor to that. But in that, he said he had an issue with what's going on. But you see here, Peter had to be proved too. It's no difference. Nobody gets a pass. You don't just get ranked and positioned and by usurping. right? Whatever you are. I don't care if you're a child, if you're a wife, if you're a husband, right? Whatever position you're going to step into, there's supposed to be a proven time, right? Like we were talking about, I'm telling you earlier, like you got to grade people, because if not, they won't. You'll see that they don't care. And Peter was proven. Just like all of us, right? We will be proved. Go ahead.
Then let them use the office of a deacon.
Right.
Being found blameless.
Right. And how was he proved? Go to Acts 14:22. Acts 14:22 and verse 23. Mom, want to read that. Acts 14:22.
Acts chapter 14 and verse 22.
You're going to have to read louder. Go ahead.
Acts chapter 14 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
Confirming the souls of
His job was. The elders, their job was to confirm the souls of the apostles. Like to keep the momentum, the passion, the dedication, the commitment going. Can you do that? Right? And now you see why a lot of people can't step into those shoes. Because why? They don't even motivate themselves. That's what made Peter and these brothers, James and John, the guys. Because they were going to keep the passion going. How many of y'all can keep the passion going? The life going. The love going. How many of you can come up with 75,000 million classes of pride in 75,000 million ways and still have the love to keep coming up with the classes? Like, there's only so many ways you can drop a class on a subject. Like, the Bible doesn't change. But how are you going to keep using the same Bible and be innovative to continue to constantly teach a person or peoples that may not be motivated? Right? Yeah, you a person that's not motivated. Right? What it say in Ezekiel, they sit before you with those faces, with their faces, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, music in their ears is all good and dandy, right? How many of you can sit year after year after year and do it? You see? It's easier said than done, y'all. That's why these guys are the guys. That's why when I said earlier, oh, not many want people fit in that slot, because people don't want to deal with themselves. Think about it. Ask yourself this. Don't even answer this. Were you the type of guy that was motivating yourself in the world? There's your answer. Why you ain't motivated in the truth? Because you won't let go of your worldly mind. So you won't motivate yourself in the truth. You'll be the same guy in the world to the truth, and you'll be the dud. You'll be the dud. But the cats that were motivating and innovative and pushing, we were talking about that. You know what I mean? Earlier, I'm like, bro, I was telling him, he's a challenge guy. Like, he's not the guy that, I practice a fight in the ring, and I get socked in the mouth, and then I'm like, shit, nah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Right? He's the type of guy that is continued like, you're going to get hit, you're going to get back up, you're going to fight. That dog ain't in a lot of our people. Right? It ain't in a lot of our people. But you see these men of the Bible, and a lot of great men around us, great sisters around us, they're going to do these things. They're going to be able to motivate, to put brothers and sisters on their back, man, and move forward. So that's what you're seeing here. Peter, James, John, these elders, they confirming the souls. Go ahead.
And exhorting them to continue in the faith.
I got it. We got to. You got to. Could you do that daily? Right? Come on. Could you do that daily to someone that don't want to be motivated up? Huh? Because that comes into your mind, right? What comes into your mind? Damn, I just told this person this. They're not going to get it. Like, I give up. But you know that, nah, I can't give up because I'm not doing this for just you. We got to do it for the love of the Most High. So whether they will hear or forbear, right? It's our job. So you got to constantly confirm the souls. Go ahead.
And that we must, through much tribulation.
And then I'm the confirming, I'm the telling, I'm the waking up our people. I'm having to be there, show up, and throw it on your back. You gonna catch what?
Tribulation.
You gonna catch tribulation on top of all of that. Now, I know you're like, well, damn, well, yeah, we know that, right? But as we go down, you're gonna see why I went there first. Because Peter had to do this. He had to go through this before he can actually show and prove from his spirit it was in him. That's only what you got to get out of people is what's in them. And a lot of people don't have it in them.
That's true.
Not because they can't though. I do not believe I am better than you or you're better than me in any way. I believe through the gospel that it's all will. It's all desire. It don't got nothing to do with you're smart, I'm dumber than you. It got something to do with desire. See, and that's hard too. Because when you know that, you're looking at people and you're like, you're just a lazy ass bum, bruh. You're unmotivated. You don't care. Now, if you were slow, that's one thing. But when you know everybody has their mental, their hands, their arms, their legs, their eyes, and they just don't give a damn, that's a battle right there. Go ahead.
I was agreeing to the part where whatever is in the person, that is what's going to come out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I know. You're right. But is that not the truth? That some people just don't want it? That some people ain't motivated? So this is what Peter had to take on, right? Go ahead.
We must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God.
Go ahead.
When they had ordained their
elders. So once again, I'm in context of what we're going over, right? The whole point of that verse was this point. This is how they ordained elders. Nobody was getting an elder. You weren't an elder and you couldn't do this. Like, oh, you just an elder because you old and washed up. Nah. Bro, where's your works at? Right? What are you putting in? What have you done for the Most High, right? So Peter just didn't get that pass. You're the rock. Why? Because you're buff. Peter, that's why you're the rock. Why? Because Peter was yours. Nah, he had to walk the walk, talk the talk, and do the will of the Father. Go ahead.
In every church.
Right.
And had prayed with fasting.
Right. Go ahead.
They commended them to the Lord.
They commended them to the Lord.
On whom they believed.
So what were they doing? They were doing the point is that Peter was doing the work. I know we can go to a million scriptures, but you see how if you just read the basics, you start seeing what the work is. So don't play games. Oh, that's not the work. The work of God is just you got to believe in your heart. Bro, they were doing work. They were putting in work for the nation. There ain't no, I just showed up and read a few verses and Jesus is inside of me. That's not it. It's work. Y'all get this, right? Okay, 1 Peter 5:1. 1 Peter 5:1. So this is how Peter became an elder. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 1.
And then what did Peter say? Go ahead.
The elders which are among you,
go ahead.
I exhort,
right?
Who am also an elder.
See, now you can speak from being an elder. Why? Because you lived it. You're living it. This is why Paul can vouch for him. And then he's coming back and saying, look, I'm an elder too. And then we just read how they were chosen. what they were doing, confirming the souls through much tribulation, right? Commending them to the gospel. Meaning, you're giving them over to the gospel, to the word, right? It was done this way. Go ahead.
And a witness of the sufferings of a Mashiach.
Right. He could say, I was there. I was there with him. Right? Go ahead.
And also a partaker.
And also, wait, what? Huh? What? Huh?
And also.
Go ahead.
And also a partaker.
And also a partaker. That's what makes him the rock, the stone, the guy. Because he was going to partake in this. So it wasn't just about, I'm talking about it. He was actually part of it. Y'all see that?
I like that because on both scales he partook in that. He performed miracles in the name of Yahushua. And then he got cast and beaten and scorned like Yahushua.
Right.
So he was a partaker on every scale.
Right. Yeah, I want you to. Right. All right. So go to. All right. So we get that. I love that part right there because that's Peter himself telling you. Right. And as we put the precepts, start seeing that there's much more that goes into this man than just him popping up and being the guy. It's much more than just God. No, he had to do these things. Is there something up there? No. Okay. Go ahead. And I partake of the glory that shall be revealed. Go to Matthew 14:25. Right. So now let's go into more in depth how Peter was, how Yahushua really chose this guy. The moments that show us about this man, right? And for y'all that tuned in, the brother Peter had a question about the brother Peter apostle. So we're going over that. All right, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 14, verse 25.
Go ahead.
In the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them,
right,
walking on the sea.
Right.
And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee from the water.
So what you're seeing is, first of all, I know it's a minor detail, but if you look past it, you don't get it. He's talking to the 12 apostles. Where are they at? What are they doing? What are they doing? Yeah, but what are they doing? Who are they with? Who are they linking up with? They linking up with some rando? Huh? Is that what they're doing? Why they ain't home with their ribs, huh? Why? Why is this point brought out? You around Yahushua. Every time I hear about you, you around this man. Right? See, the only thing I'm bringing out in this is reminding us, if you want knowledge, you're going to get it. If you're going to be about knowledge, you're going to entertain that. See? And that's what you're seeing with Peter. Right? Why was he the guy there and didn't miss this moment? Why? I can say Judas did, because his negative ass mind, he's the type of guy not to be there all the time. Dip in, dip out, check in, spy out. Right? He had a negative outlook. Judas had a negative outlook, so you like, what do negative people do? I'm good, you know what I mean? I don't need to, I'm a man too, I don't need to be up under your ass. That's what type of Peter, Judas was. But these cats were like, nah. What they say? Where will we go? You have the words of life. Like, I need to get all the information from you. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 29. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship.
Right? Peter's teaching moment, learning moment was right here. See, this was going to show us about the man Peter and what his battles was going to be and what Yahushua was working on with him. This is it right here. This is what made Peter the guy. Right? Go ahead.
He walked on the water.
Right?
To go to Yahushua.
Uh-huh.
But when he saw the wind boisterous.
Obviously. This whole moment we learned something from this. But more so we're trying to find out why was Peter the head apostle? Well, the same thing that we're being taught is Peter, through his lack of faith, had to show us. Right? So you see all these things written about these men, the apostles, the prophets, all those things is to show us the mirror about ourselves. And if you don't read them like that, and you read this like a damn comic book, you're not going to get it that that's you. That's you. I get it, Peter's walking on water, but you will be walking on water too. But when do you quit? How easy is it for you to fall? Right? And to sink. Go ahead.
He was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried.
Right.
Saying, Lord, save me.
Right.
And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him. And said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?
Why Peter? Because Yahushua is now working on this individual. If I'm going to build the church on you, bro, you lack faith. I got to start working on this man's faith. And you be seeing that. You see your children, you know which one is faithless. You know which one is doubting. You know which one is at the front of the congregation getting the extra meat. You know what? The twofold, right? You know your kids are like Eli's kids, right? And that's what Yahushua is doing, showing us you were supposed to be working on this individual. We were supposed to be working on ourselves. Peter's getting worked on. The Most High is working on him through Yahushua, right? So he's going to work on this faithless cat. The church was going to be built on because I can't let you be the leader of the church and you're faithless. Y'all see this? So, yeah, what you gonna say?
Yeah, my reason for being here,
right,
is like what we're seeing from the story of Peter is how he was called the rock. He was shown how he was going to be a leader, right? But he still needed to learn himself, and what better person to show you who you are or what's in you or what's not in you, than Yahushua. I know I'm jumping probably. You're probably going there. But when he said,
let us go there. We're gonna get it. Don't take the moment away. You already know we're going.
But that's why I'm here.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna say that for myself. That's why I'm here, because I know I told y'all before, and I keep reiterating, right? I know I don't know everything. I can't see everything. I'm learning how to take the oversight. I'm learning how to ask the question, how to get understanding.
Right.
Because I don't know.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
What did Peter do?
He was there.
What else did he do? What did he do off that boat? He took the first step. So why was Peter the guy? Because he was ready to fight and challenge. Even though he feared in the middle of it, right? It's like my ribs would tell me. They'd be like, bruh, you just jump into stuff. Twofold things they were right about. I do jump into things, but what they were saying. Analyze, assess, right? A wise man perceived the evil. But at the same time, you can't take that away from me, which is my will to jump in. Right? Because if you take that passion and fire away from an individual, you get people that just sit on their ass. So what they were saying is right, and I get the point that when you jump in, make sure you at least assess. But a lot of times, things can't be assessed when you're walking on water. Who can assess that? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I see you doing it. All I gotta do is follow. This is crazy right now. You're walking on water. I want to walk on water too. Like which one of us would have said, hold on, Doc, give me that scripture, Doc. Hold on, Doc, hold on. This don't look right. You know what I mean? See, y'all doing things out of this, bruh, you gonna start walking like a zombie towards the water. That's faith. Well, what I'm saying is, what you're saying, Doc, is this. A lot of times, brothers are too technical and won't take the step to lead them in that spot. So, when you do get in that spot, you can get ripped up like Peter's gonna get ripped up. You can't be afraid of that. You're not gonna know everything. You're not going to have everything. You're not. This is what I remind brothers. It's not about you being perfect. That's what the Most High showed me. It's about, like the scripture says, at least you have accountability, and you can go through those technical things in Timothy 3 to assess yourself. Now, if you go through that list in Timothy's and say, you know what, damn, I'm still a whoremonger, yeah, don't take the test. Don't be a bishop. But if you're like, nah, I got control of my flesh. I'm not out in the streets. Check 1. I'm not a drunk. Check 2. Right? I'm not doing this for filthy lucre. Check 3. Right? I'm good at these things. Right? And you're going through the list and you're saying, you know what? Then everything else, you're not going to be perfect. No man is perfect on earth. But you could at least say, I'm not these things. And that's why you step in. You step into the water, and then everything else on the way is going to be revealed to you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Everything is going to be revealed to you, that all the extra stuff that you haven't perfected. Because when you step in that slot, then it's like, okay, you're a bishop now, you're an officer now. You got to work on this. See? So, do you have sincerity? Do you have the love? If you could go through that list and say, listen, I got all these things, I'm accountable and I'm aware of what to do and what not to do. I'm a grown up and I'm not dizzy. I'm not going to trip and fall into adultery. I'm not going to trip and fall and steal some money. I'm not going to trip and fall. What else is on that list? Be a drunk before I come to class? Right? Then that's what the Most High wants. Accountability. If he wanted perfect, none of us could sit in the seat at all. God? So that's the way you got to look at it. He stepped in the water. Peter was the guy that was going to jump into the zone without fear. Now, what Peter did to get together was on how to do it and be wise and make the right decisions. And that's what we start seeing with Peter. Yeah, how him to say, okay, yeah, get your zeal. I love it. I love your zeal. But this is what you need, Doc. Slow down here. Assess this. Do this the right way, right? That's the point. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 32. And when they were coming to the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshiped him.
Right, so I like that. He said, it says, didst thou doubt? O thou of little faith. Why did you doubt? You were doing it. And that's what we're seeing with him. He had jumped into something, but now your doubt is there. This is the whole theme of this guy, right? In these moments that we get. So go to 31, you read that. All right, go from there, go to 1 Peter 1 and 7. So check this out. Now we can vibe with this point because it's gonna make more sense. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7.
Go ahead.
The trial of your faith.
Read it again.
That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold.
See? You see, now we're like, damn, Now we can understand why he said this, because he understood what the Most High was going to put him through. He went through it, the trial of your faith. So these words were weighty. They meant something, because you're like, damn, Peter actually went through it with Yahushua. He knew that there was going to be a trial of the faith. And he went through it himself. Go ahead.
Of gold that perisheth,
Right?
though it be tried with fire,
Go ahead.
might be found unto praise and honor and glory, that the appearing of Yahushua Hamashiach.
Right. At the appearing of Yahushua. Right? Read that part again. Though it be tried with fire.
Though it be tried with fire.
Go ahead.
Might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Hamashiach.
So he understood that faith and how you were going to gain it, how you were going to be pressured, and what you was going to have to go through. And what you was going to have to go through. He understood that. So he wasn't just talking. He wasn't just repeating and reciting. You have a man that was going through it. Go to Matthew 16 and 21. You're going to read down to verse 24.
Come.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 21.
Go ahead.
From the time forth began Jesus to shew unto his disciples, now that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things
Go ahead.
of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and be risen again the third day.
Right.
Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him.
So now we see this overzealous spirit in Peter. Now we see that he's going to jump in, but at the same time not think about, first of all, you rebuking Yahushua, bro. This is Yahushua. Like, you forgot that this is your elder. You're learning from him. But we know that it wasn't in a negative way. But you see how his passion. You see what Yahushua was looking at in him. It's like, this guy got the nerve to come rebuke me. I'm the son of the Most. You just said you're the son of the Most High, but you're like, nah. But don't I know all the? Ain't I'm telling you what's gonna happen? But you're gonna tell me, nah, it ain't gonna happen like that. So you ever had that type of individual, man? That gun-hole cat? Like, nah, it ain't gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. You're like, hold on, bro, hold on. That's what Peter is. So now you start to see this man's character more. You start to see, dang, now I understand more why God chose him to be the head. Because he was going to run and die, and he was going to lead through faith. But Yahushua showed us that he still had to work on a lot of things. That's what this is about. He still had to be refined. That the trial of his faith, it was going to happen through the fire. It wasn't going to be, oh, you're the rock. Yeah, prop him up. He's the man. But you still don't have full, clear wisdom and faith. It wasn't going to be that. You were going to have to go through it to be proper. The proper vessel, right? Go to Romans 12 and 1. Go to Romans 12 and 1. And this is what we all understand, what Peter understood. Go ahead, read that.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
Go ahead.
I beseech you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
And that's what he's going to learn. That's what we all are going to learn. Right? That it is going to be your body. I want it all, Yahweh says. I want everything. Go ahead.
Holy.
Right? He says what?
Holy.
Holy meaning pure. Holy just means pure. Go ahead.
Acceptable.
What?
Acceptable.
See, according to who?
Unto the Most High.
See? Peter was a good guy. Right? Yahushua seen Nathaniel was like, man, an Israelite indeed. He could see the spirit on these individuals. Oh, he's a good guy, but he needed to be refined in areas. And that's what Yahweh Shai was going to do. It was going to be acceptable. Your brothers and sisters, the Most High got you sitting here. But he's got to refine us. He's got to chip off the edges and curve it up and make us the right utensil for what he wants. It's not what we want. So he works on those character defects, right? So you can be the what?
Fit for the message you.
The main character. You understand? So you can be the main character, right? And not the villain. He's got to trim you. Go ahead.
Which is your reasonable service.
Right. Okay, you're good with that. Let's jump back. Holy and acceptable. I wanted that point to resonate with this point. Peter had to be holy and acceptable. He wasn't the rock, the head chief apostle, because he was just a guy. It was because he was going to fulfill this path and do it. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 22. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying,
That don't even sound right. Go ahead.
Be it far from thee.
Be it far from thee, bro.
Lord.
Go ahead.
This shall not be unto thee.
Not on my watch, Yahweh. Yahweh Shai, I got you. Not on my watch, I'm dying for the truth. Oh, when somebody starts coming into school and saying that, bro, you gotta watch them. They hear 1 week and they gone the next week. One day. His brother did in Rochester. I'm dying for this truth. But Yahweh Shai wants you to deal with this brother's attitude for this truth. But no, I'd rather die than that. Yes, exactly. He don't need you to die. Yahweh Shai already did that. He wants you to live and live through this fire, right? Peter's trying to move in a lane that he doesn't have control, right? So how do you get this man to understand that, okay, you can't be like that, right? The Most High be done. Right? As a leader, you can't force the course of the river. You can't control nobody's path. Right? And that's what happens with us when we come in. You preach and you preach. You know what I mean? You want to expound, right? You got a precept plus a definition plus a scripture to what? Convince that brother or sister that this is right.
That's right.
And they're going to still look at you if you just went over half a precept. The same damn way. It doesn't matter. But, which is it's good, but we're not controlling nobody. Be not deceived. Right? In our grace classes, you could be like, yeah, it was alright. It's alright, class. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, what? Because it's not about us. It's about the spirit in the man, and it's about just one planet, one water, the Most High will increase. So Peter's going to learn that. Like, you can't control the Son of God's path, right? How does that even sound, right? Go ahead.
Verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan.
See? You on the fast track. You know, there's some brothers 3 years still here, we still dating you. Why? Because you might snap out like my son. He's got a real bad temper. And he's only one. Oh, I'm not dealing with that. Y'all treat me like... Oh, hold on, Doc. Why? Because you haven't matured in the spirit. You ain't got time for that. Yahweh Shai's like, I got 3 years with you, bro. You got demons on you, huh? No, he didn't even say demons. He said the cheap demons. He said, there's no soft touch. What about your, he that is wise with his soul, a soft answer, turn away wrath, sweet words, multiply friends. He's like, hell no, you're the chief devil, Why? If you're hard, I got to deal with you this way. Right? Peter was hard. He was the stone. He could see that hardness in him. And I got to check that hard. Because the zeal can be, there's a wrong zeal too. It said the zeal of my people have eaten them up. That's the wrong zeal. They got zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? And that was here. So, I'm thinking the right thing. How you gonna just tell me I'm the devil, right? That's the out of order one, right? Nah, bro. In my spirit, I was feeling right, and then you just gonna call me a devil? Man, I ain't messing with y'all. We know all the little sissy games. We know the little sissy motive mind, the little childish mentality for your reason not to be told about yourself. Now that's why we what? It's okay, you get those shoes one day, Marcus. Right? We do that, but Yahushua ain't doing that. Yahushua is like, you a demon, you're the devil, right? Go ahead.
Thou art an offense unto me.
Bruh, that is cold. Like, damn, I've been rolling with you and you're gonna call me the devil and an offense to you? Right? Go ahead.
For thou servest, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men.
Right? Go ahead.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me,
right,
let him deny himself.
And that's what he started reminding them, like, you're not getting it. I'm an example of what you're going to do. You can't stop this. And Peter didn't understand that. Remember, he's gaining all this understanding as they're walking. Like, he's letting them know, I'm going to walk this path because you're going to have to walk this path. Right? So you can't stop that. And that's what a lot of brothers and sisters don't come to terms with, is that this is not our path. Whatever acronym or school or Hebrew Israelite, it ain't about us. This is the path that the Most High chose you to follow. And you are going to go down the path. It doesn't matter. If he wants you, you will go down this path. And that's what he was showing him. But you see the heart check. The heart check was, the position you're in, you're not going to get a soft check. I just said this church is going to be built on you. So I got to check you quick, sharp, and precise so you can snap out of that. Right? What's that, sis?
I was going to say at work, there was a young girl there, and she was saying, like, why I don't do Christmas or something. And then I was like, because I follow the scriptures. And she was like, ho, let me stop you right there, because she wanted a debate about, like, why do I follow the scriptures? And I couldn't really think of nothing at the time, but just came to me to say, people died for this word to continue on, like, thousands and thousands of years ago. Like, this was written, and then it survived over time, thousands and thousands of years. People were dying for this to be brought out to people in the world. So,
yeah.
I mean, what other book or what other knowledge did people do that?
That what you said right there is so deep, it probably just went right over her damn head. She don't even know what that means. Like, people died to uphold the standard. And that's why I'm not doing that, because there's a standard that people died over. That's a hard saying. But remember, our brains in the world, we can't comprehend that. They're like, what the hell does that mean? Right? What did she say?
It ended the debate.
There you go. Right? There you go. There's no debate.
Because she didn't understand it.
She didn't understand it. Right? All right. So y'all see this about this individual Peter, right? The brother Peter, which was a great man. This doesn't take nothing from him. Okay, so you read 24. Jump from there. Go to Matthew 26:48. Matthew 26:48.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 48.
Go ahead.
Now, he that betrayed him gave them a sign.
So we get to this point, Peter's riding, right? I guess this would be almost a 3-year time, right? Yahushua is going to be put to death. They're all together. Yahushua is on the mount, praying, crying, and they're what? Falling asleep on him, right? Go ahead.
Saying, whosoever I shall kiss,
right?
That same is he.
Right. So they're plotting on how they're going to capture Yahushua. Go ahead.
Hold him fast.
Right.
And forthwith he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master.
Right. So we know this is how Judas came. We got to do another class on Judas. But trickery. He came with the fake love, right? The fake kiss. Go ahead.
And kissed him.
Uh-huh.
And Jesus said unto him.
Now, I know that the question is going to answer the question. But I'm going to ask it. Who was betrayed? Who was betrayed? Who did Judas betray? Go ahead, sis. You're right. He betrayed. No, don't keep this. I go, right, you be like run out sentences. Nah, you got it. I don't want you to add no more because I want to give somebody else a chance. You're right. Yahushua was betrayed. I'm going to ask it again to add on to that. Who was betrayed? What?
I would say he betrayed himself.
You're right. There's no wrong question, so don't stop. It's wrong answer. Y'all are thinking like that. There's going to be a wrong. Y'all saying right. What I want y'all to do is just bring it out. Y'all right. Who was betrayed?
The nation, the people.
Thank you. Who was betrayed? Who else? What?
His fellow apostles.
He betrayed the Most High. He betrayed the nation. He betrayed Yahushua. He betrayed those brothers. So it wasn't only Yahushua that got betrayed here. Remember, Judas was rolling with all of them. Do you not think everybody else was offended? Come on, y'all know how it is. We roll 10 deep, and then that one brother be like, all the daps, all the hugs, all the looking in each other's eyes. Oh yeah, I got you out. And they're sitting eating, and then it's like, damn, you didn't think you could talk to brothers? Like, but I thought we had that relationship. And all of a sudden you just disappeared, right? So, who was betrayed? Yahushua was betrayed. The Most High was above betrayed, right? The nation was betrayed. The apostles, those brothers, was betrayed. So Peter was betrayed too. He felt that too, right? Everybody. Now we can see this moment better, right? Now we can see why Peter did what he did. Yes, he did it for Yahushua, but he also is going to do it because he's hurt too. Go ahead.
And Jesus said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come?
Right.
Then
come
like they.
Yahushua, friend. My friend. See, Yahushua is killing this guy because you get those cats from a hostility, friend. Right, wow, now, man. What's up with you, man? Go ahead.
Then came they and laid hands on Jesus and took him.
Right.
And behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand.
That one was Peter. Pepe. In Spanish.
You said Batman?
Pepe.
Oh, Pepe. Oh.
Yeah. Peter did what? Right, but listen, here's the thing, y'all. Didn't we just already have this conversation? What is it showing us about Peter? Peter was hard-headed. He was hard in his way. So his gift can be his curse unless that's broke. You know what I mean? His gift can be his curse. Like, Yahushua seen that in him, but he knew that was going to break. He knew it was going to break. Read.
and stretched out his hand, and drew his sword,
right,
and struck the servant of the high priest,
right,
and smote his ear.
right.
Then said Jesus unto him, Put up again thy sword unto his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Right. Who did that? Peter. Did we just have this conversation though? Didn't I tell you you can't stop the will of the Father? You see what's going on with Peter? Remember, the same guy that the church was going to be built at. So, starting with, when you ask about Peter, this was a damn good question because it's the head guy. It's the guy that was going to be moving and building after Yahushua was gone. Because the story don't end just with the death of Yahushua. It goes on for Peter. Right? See? But it goes on sad. Right? Because Peter's making moves. And he's not thinking. He's making rash moves, emotional moves. Go ahead.
Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father?
Right.
And he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels?
So look at that. He had to check him and say, you're not getting it. If I wanted to get out of this, I can call the angelic beings down from heaven. Like your sword is nothing. and that would do what? Snap in your history. You know what I mean? When Michael stood in what is that? Joshua?
Joshua.
And he said, if you be for us, like Michael can show up. What? Your little sword is nothing. Right? And that's what he had behind him. And what is he doing? You see with Peter, I'm checking you. I'm always setting your thoughts in the right place. Because your decisions are going to affect your rash decisions, your emotional decisions, or you being faithless. You got to get a wrap on that. That's what's going on here. Go ahead.
But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled?
Right.
That thus it must be.
Right. And once again, reminding this has to happen. It got to go down this way. Go ahead.
In that same hour, Jesus said, in that same hour said Jesus to the multitude.
Okay, so that's it on that. Now go from here. Go to Luke 22 and 22. So what do y'all think? Y'all, is this trying to kind of giving you more edification on this man? What type of individual? He was a good man. He was a good brother. But you can see the character defects that were getting corrected. It was getting corrected because that's a hard correction, right? Most people that will hear you got the devil on you by somebody, they wouldn't show up again. That'll break a person. And especially if the Son of God said it to you. You just won't show up no more. You're like, damn, he told me I'm the devil. Why? You know what I mean? I don't know about y'all, but when I was told things by my elders, they hurt the hell out of me. I was like, damn. Damn, you just gonna just tell me that? It's like, that's some cold stuff, right? Imagine how it's shy doing it though. That would shut your spirit down. But he can take that though. You can see that because his head is a little bit stubborn, right? Oh, read that where you at.
God.
Come on.
Luke chapter 22, verse 22.
Go ahead.
And truly, the Son of Man goeth.
Right.
As it was determined. But woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed.
Talking about Judas. Woe means destruction. Go ahead.
And they began to inquire among themselves.
Because Yahushua was doing cuts. He was doing those cuts, man. He was like, yeah, one of y'all gonna betray me. Right? She's like, what are you talking about? Like, why is he saying these things, right? Yahushua was throwing slight blows at everybody to remind them, you better check yourself. And then to remind Judas, it's going to overcome your thoughts, your negativity, your negative outlook is going to overcome you. But Judas never snapped out of it, right? Go ahead.
Which of them it was that should do this thing?
Go ahead.
And there was also the strife among them. Which of them should be accounted the greatness?
Right. That don't make sense. Like, you get checked and you guys start talking about who's going to be the greatest. And, like, you see the immaturity that it had to be set in order. But the moment and the time and everything that was going to go on was setting them in order, y'all. Like, what they were finna go through was setting their mind right. Yeah.
Judas repenting before himself. Was that enough to save his soul? Or?
No. No, we went over this the other day.
Time.
Yeah, get the other scripture for her. The one we put. It's better for him not to be. Yeah, give me that one real quick. Nah. Where is it at? The scripture? Go ahead. Just a side note, y'all, for the sister. Read that. Mark 13 and what?
Mark 14, verse 21.
Right, go ahead.
The Son of Man indeed goeth, as it is written of him.
Right.
But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man if he had never been.
It would be it would be as he would never been born. It would have been better if he wasn't even born. So, did we find that one in Psalms I asked for? Who was on the phone that day?
Con.
You found it?
Psalms 55.
There you go. There you go. We had a whole talk about this the other day, sis. Go ahead, Psalms 55.
Psalms 55 starting at
verse 12?
Con.
Go ahead.
Psalm chapter 55, verse 12. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth.
Wait.
55 verse 12.
55 and 12.
For it was not an enemy.
Read that.
Psalm chapter 55, verse 12. For it was not an enemy that reproached me.
Right. Now, remember, David did this a lot of times. In spirit, he started prophesying of this betrayal. Right? The same betrayal that Yahweh was going to undertake. He did this a few times. He did it about the actual crucifixion. Right? He did it from him being pierced, from him drinking, casting lots for his garment. So here he's doing it again. Go ahead.
Then I could have borne it.
Right. If it was an enemy that reproached me, I could have borne it. Right? Edomite, Esau, right? But no. Go ahead.
Neither was it he that hated me.
Right.
That did magnify himself against me.
Go ahead.
Then I would have hid myself from him.
Go ahead.
But it was thou, a man, mine equal.
And that's what he's showing us, that it was his brother. Judas was among them. They were brothers. Right? You walk with these men for 3 years. You teach them. Go ahead.
My God. And my acquaintance.
Right.
We took sweet counsel together.
We did what?
Took sweet counsel together.
Remember what it said with John and the apostles. Like, remember, to have these conversations, who's the greatest apostle, you always around each other, right? And you start politicking, like y'all do all the time after class, right? You're like, well, what's the scripture? And we're talking, and you can do it like men in brotherhood, right? So you don't think that the brother's going to spaz on you. Could you do me a favor, Rod? Could you walk the sister to 7-Eleven? Like, whoa, Where's the humility, brother? Where's the love for the work of the Most High? What did you just show this sister?
Love.
Did you know that you just messed up your name? The sister's like, damn, what did I do? But that be in us because we don't want to check those things. And that same thing, well, Judas was obviously way worse. Because he was betraying the Son of the Most High. At no time, you didn't think, damn, this guy, I don't know about y'all, but he just opened up these people's eyes. he just gave them power to walk again. Why would I betray this man? So obviously Judas was sick. Go ahead.
And walked into the house of the Most High in company.
Wait, when I walked into the Most High alone.
Walked into the house of the Most High in company.
No, I do a dolo for solo from state to state.
In company.
I don't need nobody.
In company.
I'm with my brothers. We walking together. You go to 7-Eleven together with the brothers, right? You're coming up from the zone with the brothers. You're in the company of the brothers. Go ahead.
Let death seize upon them.
See? And that's what he was saying in the spirit that going to come to him. Go ahead.
And let them go down quick into hell.
Let him go down where?
Quick into hell.
Where?
To hell.
You go to hell. This is not a joke. So him prophesying this is exactly what was going to partake. When it said it would have been better for him not to have been born, this is what it meant. Go ahead.
For wickedness is in their dwelling.
Go ahead.
And among them.
Uh-huh.
As for me.
Right. So you see that, sis, right?
Just curious though, like, does that mean that he does not get a chance to be reincarnated?
Okay. Is this serious or we?
Yeah, we went over.
It's like deja vu.
What the hell? Yeah, we just literally talked about this. No, not only you. No, we just had this conversation. Yeah, with the brothers. You're asking literally the same questions. No, it's all good though. It's all good. Remember, regeneration, you coming back, punishment doesn't prevent that. Right? Punishment don't prevent regeneration. Because remember what Paul said, all Israel shall be saved. So eventually we all gotta what? Come back. Right? And what we were talking about, and I think if you're studied, you can understand that it doesn't tell us how long though. Like, how long are you going to be punished in this hellish, right? And when are you going to regenerate? The Bible don't leave and fill in those gaps. It tells us you're going to be punished in hell, and it tells us you're going to regenerate. Now, we prophesy part. So yes, he is going to regenerate. Because all Israel will be saved, right? But how long, right? And the conversation we got when we were talking about this was, ask yourself why the Most High did it like that. Like why the scriptures don't tell you, oh, you're going to be in jail in spiritual hell for this amount of time. Because who wants to play around with that? Right? It could feel like eternity. Right? So, yes, the scripture says both things. It says he's going to be in hell, but it also says that eventually he will regenerate. What it doesn't say is how long is he going to be there. And when he's going to regenerate back, right? So, because remember, the two-thirds of Israel are going to die, right? Are they coming back? That's the promise. Do we know when? No. We don't know when. The Bible don't go into details and tell us that. But it said that all Israel will be saved. So, same thing with Judas or any wicked brother or sister for that case. The process still happens. We just don't know when. Yeah. So, that's it. Let's finish the Peter thing real quick. We got a few minutes. That was a good question, though. This is literally the same thing we've been talking about. It's in the spirit, though. All right, where are we at?
Luke chapter 22, verse 25.
Go ahead, read on.
And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles
Right.
exercise lordship over them.
Right.
And they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors.
Right. So what is going on here? He's checking the apostles. Listen, set your mind right. Y'all conversation about like who's the greatest. Y'all thinking like heathen. Like we don't think like that. We're the knights of the round table. We're all great. We're all kings, right? That's what that's what he's checking them, right? Go ahead.
But ye should not be so.
Right? But ye should not be so. Right? This ain't a push for power or who's to be the greater. That shouldn't even be your mind. Right? Go ahead.
But he that is greatest among you, let him be as a younger.
Right.
And he that is chief, as he that doeth serve.
Right. So to keep everybody in line and everybody humble, the work don't stop. You're still going to be a servant on some level. Go ahead.
For whether is greater, he that sitteth, he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth, is not he that sitteth at meat, but I am among you as he that serveth. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptation.
Right, and what did we read? That Peter was around. That these 12 apostles were seeing all this and also going through it. So now they can actually experience, right? Go ahead, read on.
And I appointed unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
You're going to get the reward. The reward that is promised to you. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
See that? So now we start to see more and more why Yahushua was on him. Satan desires to have you. He wants you. Why? Because every time you get that position, you get that rank, right? It's not to be greater, it's to do more works. And what happens? Satan wants to stop those works. He wants to stop that passion, that desire, that zeal to fight, because it's infectious, right? You will inspire people. So Satan's going to stop that, trying to stop that. Go ahead.
But I have prayed for thee.
Go ahead.
That thy faith fail not.
See? What was one of his battles? Like making sure he's consistent in faith. Go ahead.
And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother.
See, you see this? So at that point, Yahushua was literally measuring his level of conversion. Like, wait a minute, you've been all the way to this point. Fix that. You've been all the way to this point. What is that? It's the actual thing. Yeah. You made it to all the way to this point, and your faith is there, it's moving forward, but you remember, when you fully come into that full strength, that measure of faith, make sure you strengthen the brethren. You see, now let's jump back to why I went to Acts earlier, because he was doing that when Yahushua left. Remember when it said the elders were strengthening and going through the tribulation and through with the other apostles? Right, confirming the souls? See, he was doing it. But this had to happen. Watch, read on. Come on.
But I prayed, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fails not.
Right.
And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother.
Go ahead.
And he said unto him,
Go ahead.
Lord, I am ready to go with thee, but unto prison or to death.
Into prison and to death. There you go again. See? That rude boy talk. Huh? I'm dying for you, Yahweh Shai. They gonna lock you up, they locking me up too. Right? So what's Peter's problem? He brags with his mouth. He's overzealous. And he's not thinking things through. Right? Which was good. Because you start walking on that water. But you got to be faithful to the end. Right? That's what leads you. That's what would lead you to take that damn step to the water. So his gift was good. But if you don't get a wrap on this, you're gonna not take the step and continue moving forward, right? Okay, so Peter's running his mouth. I'll go with you to death, right? That's why he cut off the ear. He's thinking, man, nobody's messing with Yahushua, right? Right? Go ahead.
And he said,
right?
I tell thee, Peter.
Right. Go ahead.
I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day.
The cock shall not crow. Go ahead.
Before thou shalt thrice deny that thou knowest me.
See, this was the ultimate thing that led Peter to really understand his path. And I know all of us, right? All of us. Like when it comes back, like right now you're in the truth, you're doing it. But for the ones that really are looking at and seeing what they're doing and how and what they did and how it affects people, y'all that don't give a damn, we're not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that really give a damn and know that what you do affects people. This had him thinking. That had him thinking, that's the same guy that the church was going to be built on, but you were told you're going to betray me.
That's cold. You think about a stone, right? In the sense of you building a foundation, something that's stable, something that's a pillar, right? That's got to be something that's tested and tried, tempered. It goes with fire and strength to be strong. But that same kind of stone can cause somebody to stumble.
Right.
So that's cold, like his name, the duality in his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay, so y'all see that, right? Okay, last scripture. Let's go to Matthew 26:69 on down. Read that.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 69.
Go ahead.
Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him,
Go ahead.
saying, Thou also was with Yahushua of Galilee.
So this is the point where Yahushua is what? Yahushua's ticking. And now Peter is being reminded by people, by the Spirit, that he was part of it. Right? So the damsel's like, look, you was with him, with Jesus of Galilee. Go ahead.
But he denied before them all.
Go ahead.
Saying, I know not what thou sayest.
What are you talking about? What Jesus? What are you... Now, let me ask you this. How do you think he felt? Like, watch, read on.
And when he was gone out into the porch,
go ahead.
Another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Yahweh.
Hey, you were with Jesus of Nazareth. The guy that's getting hanged. The guy that's, you were with him. What? Y'all were there. Go ahead.
And again he denied with an oath, I do not know
I swear to God, bruh. I don't know that man. Like, you making damn oaths. You damn sitting with your mouth. I want to remind everybody, upon this church, upon this rock, I build my church. That never changed. After all of this, Yahushua knew what was going to happen. Right? Go ahead.
And after a while, came unto him they that stood by,
right,
and said to Peter, Surely thou art also one of them.
Yeah, you one of them. Look at your beard. Look at your garment. You one of them. Go ahead.
For thy speech bewrayeth thee.
Yeah, you talk just like her. Bro, you sound just like those cats over there. Right? Go ahead.
Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately,
go ahead.
And immediately the cock crew.
Read.
And Peter remembered the word of Yahweh.
That I know for a fact broke him. That broke him to betray in the moment and really deny he was with him. Go ahead.
Which said unto him,
right,
before the cock crowed, thou shalt deny me thrice.
Go ahead.
And he went out and wept bitterly.
He wept bitterly. You got to think about that. He probably broke down and just fucking crying, screaming. Why? Because he realized what he did. That changed him. That was his moment. All those things flashed before his eyes and changed him as a man. That's why Peter went on and did what he did. Right? So how did Peter die? It tells you in the, remember, it doesn't go into this in the scriptures, but there's a book called, what is it again?
The Book of Martyrs.
The Book of Martyrs, and it goes into Peter and how he died real quick. Go ahead.
It says he was crucified upside down, according to the church tradition. He was told his tormentors that he felt unworthy to die in the same fashion as Yahushua. So he was crucified, but instead of his feet being down, he was upright.
That's vicious.
There's another part that says, but Eusebius, moreover, writing of the death of Peter, but also of his wife, aforetime, Peter seeing his wife going to be martyred the same fashion. So he's basically facing his wife being hung and crucified the same way. And his words.
So now think about that, y'all. Think about the regret, even all the way to death, like what you did. But look at what great works Peter did. That didn't stop him. You know, somebody asked me the other day, well, the scripture says if you deny Christ, he denied him in the moment as I'm not with him. He didn't deny I'm a believer, the Most High. He was the Son of God. He didn't do that. Right? So let's not get it twisted. He still did all those works after Yahushua told him all these things. Right? But I believe that right there, that had to break him. Like in the moment, you know, Yahushua is being crucified, and you just straight up, like, I don't know this guy. He said he wept bitterly, man.
It said, but also his wife, aforetime, that Peter seeing his wife going through the martyr, being as he was yet hanging up on the cross, was greatly joyous and glad thereof, who crying unto her with a loud voice, and calling her by her name, bade her to remember the Lord Yahushua. Such was then as then, and blessed and bound in marriage among the saints of the Most High.
Damn. You and your rib go out like that. That's, whew. Come, y'all got any? I know, it's sad. Y'all got any questions? Any questions on that? Okay, yeah, so that's Peter. I try to consolidate that as much information as we can on him. So hopefully that answers your question, give you some information about the brother Peter. Anybody got any? That's good. Yes.
So, how does that relate? His character relate to when was that Paul who asked him to go preach to the Gentiles or something, or like that angel came to tell him that he's gonna eat?
Let me help you, sis. How is that? You know what happened? I'm just messing. You know what happened was, first of all, it was not Paul. It was an angel that came to him and told him that he was going to go to the Gentiles. What's your question on that though?
How does that relate?
I was just helping you out with the story properly.
How does that relate to his character? Like, because he had came to him and said that he don't eat with the or something.
I mean, in the context of the story, it doesn't change his character. Remember, that whole thing was, the vision was to partake in foods that were defiled. But the vision was a resemblance of what he was going to do. It didn't have nothing to do with the food. It had something to do with now he's going to start teaching brothers that are in a heathen mind. They're among the Gentiles, living as the Gentiles, doing as the Gentiles. That was the setup because, remember, Yahweh was moving the pieces. He was showing Peter, being the head apostle, what needed to be done. That way when he brings in Paul, this won't be too much contention. And even though there was still contention, because nobody wanted to mess around with these heathen brothers, right? Heathen sisters. We didn't mess with them, right? You living as the Gentiles and doing as the Gentiles, we didn't want no part of that. So that was about setting up, letting him know this needed to be done. Our people needed to be taught, the ones that were scattered through the four corners of the earth, calling themselves Ephesians, Thessalonians, Corinthians, Mesopotamians, Galatians, whatever, right? It didn't really speak to his character in a negative sense. It just was showing that what he had to do. Right. All right. Any other questions? No? Okay. All right. Reminder. Oh, we do have date for Purim. I do have a date for Purim. Quatzazat sent me this the other day.
February 22nd and 23rd.
February what?
22nd and 23rd.
February 22nd and 23rd is Purim. All right. So look out for that. All right. We'll get together, do something for that. If y'all want to do something different, if we want to do something that we haven't done before, we all want to go out to a spot. We can do that too. You want to go to the one spot y'all went to, the $50 meat spot?
I think
They went to a little spot, the sisters, the other day, and it was like all you can eat meat. You know what I mean?
They had vegetables too. It was like a hot pot and then a barbecue. So they bring out meat and you barbecue it at the table, and then they have a hot pot.
Yeah, like Korean barbecue spot.
Yeah. K-pot.
Like we can do that. I mean, I'm not saying we have to. You know me, I'm Libra's ride with whatever we all want to do. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as you're happy. Right, Jay? You know what I mean? No, seriously though, y'all, we could do something for Purim like that, or we could, once again, we could try it again. Everybody cook and then pray to the Lord, Yahweh. We're not going to be sick. Nah, no, the Purim is only one day.
Two.
It is 2 days, my bad. Purim is 2 days. So it ain't a 7-day meat fest, right? We'll be fine. I think we'll be fine because everybody's taking care of themselves. You know, I'll tell you this. Let's be real. I think right now we should really take health serious and taking care of your body. You don't have to eat meat in every meal. You see what it's doing in your gut, and it's not preparing your gut, helping your gut out when your defenses need to go up. Now, that being said, we do not teach you cannot eat meat. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, look out for your body. Look out for your health. Look out for your temple. So you can, because this last one was a real ride. Like the sick and the flu and the sick and the flu and the cough and COVID. I had all of it. You know what I mean? So, and that came right after I was sick. I was sick, and then I got sick again after the feast. So, I don't know. What y'all thinking? What y'all want to do? Brothers and sisters. I mean, we need to talk about this now. So, let's salute them online. Let's say shalom. Shalom. Shalom, everybody online, y'all. We'll see y'all in the morning for Shabbat morning class.